status. So it is what's known colloquially as the 3-up-3 count format, and it means, Blythe, quite simply, that every single second, millisecond, split second, whatever of this final matters.
It's a very unforgiving format, frankly, and for each person on each of these teams, it means that they have to hit. There's real pressure on them to do so because everything that they're doing counts towards the team score.
So on vault, we'll begin with the United States of America and Great Britain. Both of them very big hitters on vault in terms of the difficulty that they have. If Great Britain is to mount any sort of meaningful challenge to the United States of America, and a lot of people have been crunching numbers to see how that might be possible, vault is going to be paramount for them. The execution is going to need to be absolutely fantastic.
And compared to what we saw from the British a year ago in Liverpool, they have upgraded. So it's exciting.
Yes, there's definitely more to be earned now by Great Britain in a team final when it comes to vaulting. Over on the uneven bars, the People's Republic of China. Now, they have got some really high scoring potential on the uneven bars and also on the balance beam. So it'll be interesting to take stock of where China is at the halfway point of the competition, because when they move on to vault and floor, perhaps some of the numeracy will not be as high.
That's an excellent point. China did have the highest team score on both bars and beam in the qualifications, taking its top three into account.
And we must also mention Brazil there on the uneven bars. What they have is one of the powerhouse all-around gymnasts in the world, last year's champion Rebecca Andrade. We go to the balance beam, where we'll be seeing Italy and the Netherlands competing. Italy, the bronze medalists in 2019. They also won a bronze medal in 1950. And the Dutch, who are yet to win a medal in this event, but they were the third-place nation at the European Championships in Turkey earlier this year, the second time that they've accomplished that. So the Dutch coming into this feeling quite buoyant about their chances. They qualified well in 6th position. The Italians 1 place above them in 5th. Then we have the gymnasts who start on floor, that is the French and the Japanese national teams, the 7th and 8th strongest qualifiers. And Blythe, as we were talking about earlier, we have seen over the last couple of women's team finals, medalists come from this group.
It's become something of a trend if you take 2 of the last 3 world championships into account. Canada, of course, last year, they qualified 8th, and in 2019, Italy qualified 8th. They both ended with bronze.
So all of that means it's an absolutely fearsome prospect to try to televise, but we will do our very best to bring you as much as is possible. And thank you so much for joining us for it and settling down whatever time of day or night it is, wherever you're watching from, to experience all of the drama of a women's team final at the World Championships, and the World Championships before the Olympic Games, no less. Let's begin. The dust has not yet settled. There is a lot for us to discover over the next couple of hours, and it's going to be very enjoyable finding out. There we're looking at a gymnast who is so experienced in team competition. She's been an Olympian on 2 occasions, knows about team finals at the very highest level, is competing at her 5th World Championships. "23-year-old Marine Boyer from France will get us underway on floor. She scored 12 in qualification. The French were the 7th best overall." Marine Boyer, one of two gymnasts who will be doing every apparatus for the French, along with Melanie de Jesus dos Santos. And she'll be finishing on balance beam, which is one of her trademark pieces.
One of the interesting things about this floor exercise, as we take a look at her second tumbling pass, a double pike, is the way that she utilizes the code to get herself a big score. It's not all about tumbling. It's about dance and turns and artistry in her presentation. That's where she's really strong.
On the subject of places where people are really strong, we head to the People's Republic of China on the uneven bars. Oyu Shen, the 19-year-old who has just won the World University Games all-around title and the title with the Chinese team. She scored 14.1 in qualification.
She starts off with a very nice Van Leeuwen up to the high bar. And this is what Chinese gymnastics on uneven bars looks like at its best. Really intricate pirouetting skills and great form. Her legs are glued together. The knees and toes are quite extended. And her swing is exceptionally fluid.
That's a lovely start for China on the uneven bars. They're going to need huge scores in the first half of the competition. They don't possess the same sort of difficulty as a lot of the very top qualifiers on vault, but they absolutely have it on bars and beam. On the subject of vault, the United States of America waiting to begin their campaign, their quest for 7 in a row. And goodness me, do they have huge scoring potential at the vaulting table. Great Britain watching on, waiting for their turn. The gymnasts alternate. So we have a gymnast from one country followed by one from t'other in the pairing system. Shilese Jones of the United States of America. She scored 14.266 in qualification.
This is going to be a double twist in Yurchenko, and she can launch it.
It's absolutely delightful, isn't it? The amount of time that she gets in the air. Fabulous technical gymnastics.
She has a huge block pushing off the table using her shoulders, and she's very well aligned. Just a few small hops on the landing.
Compelling beginning nonetheless for the United States of America. The gymnast from Seattle in the northwest of the country. And we're going to see an identical vault in a moment from Great Britain, but we'll come back to that as 12.633 is the score for Marine Boyer, and that's an improvement of 0.633 from qualification. So good start for the French. No question that Japan has a lot of opportunity to perform more strongly than in qualifying. They were the 8th best qualifiers, but we know there's a lot more in the locker. This is Hatakeda Chiaki, and she scored 12.6 in the preliminary round. Takeda Chiaki of Japan, the first performance for them.
This was an exciting routine for her because she submitted an original skill to be named for her in the code of points. It was the turn that she did right after her first tumbling run, a triple turn with her leg at horizontal. And if a gymnast submits a skill at the World Championships and they compete it without fault at any time, it will be named for them. Interestingly, Shilese Jones, the United States, has also submitted it to be named for her. If they both do it successfully, and it did look like Takeda did, it will be named for both.
Meanwhile, 13.766 for Oh Yu-shen. And we've heard the name Takeda an awful lot over the years at World Championships with her sister, Hitomi. Shilese Jones, 14.1, that's a good start for her, very similar to qualification, just under 2/10 shy. Ondina Champong of the British team, vaulting. We anticipate it to be the same vault that we saw from Shilese Jones, the double twisting Yurchenko. And a Champong score in qualification was 14.3, so a little higher than Jones, but not by much.
Oh, just beautiful from Ondina Champong.
What an elegant vault that was, so graceful and so well executed, but so powerful.
In terms of height and distance, it's very comparable to Shilese Jones's. Ondine had a slightly better landing on that, but the body position and the flight are both excellent.
First opportunity to have a look at what's going on the balance beam, where the Italian team and the Dutch team are working in tandem. Manila Esposito of Italy, the 16-year-old, her second World Championship. She won the silver medal on this apparatus at the European Championships earlier this year. What a super start.
Oh, that was terrific. She takes a lot of risk doing her flight series in combination with her mount, round off back handspring, layout, and compared to the qualification round, she added a second layout. So she is up a bit so far in her difficulty. It's a nice transition move. Back walk over from a sit position.
She was the highest scorer for Italy on beam in qualification. It is easy to see why. Manila Esposito with a splendid beginning.
The key to balance beam and getting a really good score here is not to wobble on the acrobatic series nor on the jumps and leaps. And she did a wonderful job on that assignment.
14.166, Ondine Champong score on vault, down a fraction from qualification. Very comparable, though, to what we saw from her in the preliminary round. To Brazil, absolute medal contenders. Fourth best in qualification, this is Flavia Saraiva.
She's an incredibly experienced performer. It's a nice transition. The Pike Kachev to Pak Salto. And here she goes with a Maloney. to immediate ginger. She does a good job as she catches the bar of keeping her legs together. That's a form break we see quite often. And double front dismount, wonderful landing.
This is a very enjoyable start to the team final. We're seeing such high quality and such assured gymnastics early on. There is real confidence here, and you'd expect it from someone of her experience.
You would, and it's so great to see her go out and hit this routine because she was injured at the World Championships last year, and she actually did bars in the team final, but with a dismount not as difficult as the one we just saw here.
Back to where it all began, and how wonderful to have her back. The architect of the Yurchenko double pike in women's artistic gymnastics, but we anticipate something different here. It's Simone Biles.
This is a Cheng.
Oh, the travel on that is absolutely mesmerizing.
The distance that she gets from the table on this, just tremendous. And the twist nicely completed in time.
5.6 difficulty, so for those of you new to watching these team finals, just be aware you've seen something with a start value of 0.6 higher than anything that we've already seen at the vaulting table. Manila Esposito, 14.133, very well done. That's well up from qualification by about half a mark. Excellent opening from her, she was so secure. A look out over the Antwerp Sport Palace, as Hatakeda Chiaki's score was 12.866. And that's an improvement of 2.5 tenths or thereabouts from qualifying. 13.733 for Flavia Saraiva. That is better than qualification by just over a tenth. We're seeing so much improvement already compared to the preliminary round. Very interesting. Now, whether it's possible or not to improve upon what she did in qualification, goodness only knows, but the number was huge. This is Chu Chu-Yuen of the People's Republic of China. Her score was 14.9 in qualification.
Intricate pirouettes into a layout Jaeger. And she's opted to kip off and do another handstand before her downy, the Staldering Kachev, and she's not connected that. She's improvising slightly, and there again, potentially, just a bit of hesitation. It's going to be very interesting to see what the judges do with this. She might not have the difficulty that she had in qualification.
It's still likely to be a handsome score for Chu Chu-Yuen, but you're quite right to observe those minute details. One of the things that sets it apart is her unusual Jaeger somersault.
Yes, we don't often see it in the layout position. It's the hardest position to hit on uneven bars.
What a magnificent moment this is for Club Cymru Cardiff in Wales, as Ruby Evans from Cardiff makes her World Championship debut.
This will be a double twisting Yurchenko. She went for something harder in the qualification and missed it. That was a very nice job.
The first women's artistic gymnast from Wales to be named as a full member of the British World Championship squad since Olivia Brill and Lynette Lyle in 2006. 17 years. Congratulations, Ruby Evans. It's a big moment for Welsh gymnastics.
She's been such a nice addition to the British team, particularly on vault and on floor exercise. The mechanics of this are very nice.
14 is the score, and that is almost a full mark higher than qualification. That is a real hats-off moment, isn't it, to her in her debut. Simone Biles, 14.8. 15.266 in qualification, but for a different vault. That's important to state. It's still a massive number. We are getting close to the end of the 1/4 mark of the competition, the first of 4 rotations. The People's Republic of China didn't get on the podium in the World Championships in 2019, ending a 7-competition streak of being on the podium. It started with their only gold medal in 2006. 14.733 Chu Yuan. So it is down by a fraction, less than 2/10 from qualification, for the reasons that you were articulating so well earlier, Blythe, to Rebeca Andrade of Brazil, the reigning all-around world champion.
And this is bound to be a hugely exciting routine. She connects several elements in a row. Beautiful flow from bar to bar. Good snap on her pike Jaeger. And the toe full, connected immediately to the full twisting double tuck and stuck.
Oh dear, what a start that was from Rebeca Andrade. She scored 13.866 in qualification. It will be fascinating to see the sort of number we get here from the hugely experienced Brazilian from São Paulo State.
What nice amplitude on her Van Leuven as well.
Melanie de Jesus dos Santos of France, competing on floor, hugely popular gymnast. Actually based in the United States of America for training purposes. She scored 13.3 in qualifying. France's Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, European all-around champion and floor champion in 2019. She also won the floor title in 2018. She's been doing wonderful work on this apparatus for years.
What a lovely presentation. There's so much that could be said about this routine, but just to highlight the tumbling and the authoritative way that she puts her feet down at the end of all of her passes, she's really flirting with the corner, and it would be easy to go out of bounds because she's so close, and she doesn't let that happen. Well done.
Huge number. 14.4 for Rebeca Andrade of Brazil on the uneven bars, way up from qualification. That's interesting to contemplate from an all-around final perspective as well. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. How about an Olympic champion on balance beam? Sanne Wevers, the 32-year-old from Leeuwarden in the northeast of the Netherlands. She won the title in Rio. This is the only time that we will see her in the final.
She has a new and complicated mount sequence that she didn't perform in the qualification, but there it is. Round off back handspring, swing through to immediate wolf jump with a full turn, and then the one-armed back handspring. She really is the queen of unique combinations on balance beam, particularly those involving turns.
And even to her, that can happen in a team final of this sort of consequence. It is so rare to see Sanne Wevers come off the apparatus.
It is. But we talked about the pressure. She is the only gymnast performing right now. Often there are 2 or 3 things happening at once, but all eyes are on her.
And we should say that what she did was deliver that performance to an enormously high standard, 13.733, when the Dutch really needed it for Olympic qualification, which they secured. For a lot of these athletes, as we said during the men's team final, the pressure of the qualification round almost greater than the pressure of the final because of the Olympic berths being at stake.
Lovely dismount and really lovely recovery. She had that pass all the way down the beam of turns. That's something that she's kept in her routine for years now, and it merits its own round of applause, which it got.
13.7 for Melanie de Jesus dos Santos. It's up by 4/10 from the qualification phase. Miyata Shoko from Japan, one of the standout performers at the World Championships last year in Liverpool, the 19-year-old from Kyoto. She scored 12.366 in qualification. Oh, goodness, for Miyata Shoko, that was such a difficult final landing, and one just hopes that she is okay. That must have really, really jarred her. At the World University Games in China in the summer, she had to withdraw from the all-around competition due to an injury. One hopes that there will be no repeat of that here, but if she is hurt, then obviously prioritising her safety is the most important thing. It was a very difficult final landing, wasn't it?
It was, especially after such a fatiguing routine, and you can really tell how much she puts into engaging the audience in her dance. There's not really anything wrong with the pass. She goes for a very good landing, and she's known for sticking her landings on things, and as a result, she's just a bit low. And that's what happened.
Jessica Gadirova of Great Britain. A very big vault from its scoring potential, 5.6. This could be hugely important.
This is the Cheng vault, and it's new for her.
And despite its high level of difficulty, it will not have an enormous score from an execution standpoint. A full mark will be lost for not landing the vault fully. It looked as though she was drifting out of bounds as well. There might be some penalty tents.
She didn't get the greatest push off of the table, and we'll be able to take another look at it here. From the round off, she does a half twist on and just doesn't have a whole lot of height. And so when you don't have that, it's very difficult to get the 1.5 twist around and make it to your feet. It was a good effort.
13 was the score for Jessica Gadirova. To pick up 3/10 of penalties. Angela Andreoli of Italy now will take to the balance beam, where she scored 13.2 in qualifying.
It's a very difficult combination. Front handspring to immediate punch front. And she nailed it. She hangs on to the front aerial. There will be a small deduction for the wobble, but it's all right. She contained the problem.
Runner-up at the National Championships on beam last month. World Championship debutant Angela Andreoli of Italy. 13.033 the score. Very comparable to her performance in qualification. Now, let's just have a look back at some of the earlier moments of this rotation. This is Lian Wong of the United States of America on vault. Her double twisting Yurchenko performed to a strong standard. She scored 14.166 in the preliminary round.
The second group, your warm-up starts now.
The 20-year-old, based at the University of Florida, where she competes for the Gators. It's her third time at the World Championships. 14.066, just 1/10 shy of the qualification score.
Great Britain, Italy.
At the 1/4 mark, China absolutely delivering what it needed to on the uneven bars. We now go to Great Britain and the United States of America. And it is fair to say, Blythe, that the United States of America has got big hitting power on the uneven bars as well. Some excellent performers there. Over on the beam, we'll have China, who we expect to score well on that apparatus based on what we saw in qualification and based on their track record. On floor, the always enjoyable prospect of Aitora Tolsdottir of the Netherlands. Cult favourite among those really knowledgeable fans of artistic gymnastics, and a European Championship medalist. Over on vault, the Japanese team, talking of the aforementioned Tolsdottir. Great Britain also on the uneven bars. Now, you didn't think we wouldn't show, did you? Aitora Tolsdottir on floor. Here we go. New routine this, and most enjoyable. The gymnast who puts the art in artistic gymnastics. Aitora Torsdottir of the Netherlands, the 25-year-old from Rotterdam.
She is the embodiment of the women's code of points' artistry of performance category. Footwork, choreography, storytelling, expression, she's got it all.
Tough beginning for Jessica Gadirova of Great Britain on vault, but we've learned over the years about her that she is one of the best performers when it comes to big finals. Now she takes to the uneven bars.
And she's very tough. Good pike Jaeger to begin, and here comes a Kachev with a half turn into immediate Ejava. Cleanly through her Maloney to Pak Salto combination. That's important for her difficulty, as is the Van Leven.
The scoring qualification was 13.766. That is a very good rebound from Jessica Gadirova after her problems with the Cheng vault.
She has really developed well on the uneven bars during the last couple of years. This is another look at the dismount, full twisting double tuck, just a controlled hop on landing.
Takeda Chiaki of Japan to vault. Her scoring qualification was 13.5.
Should be a 1.5 twisting Yurchenko, but not enough rotation. And as a result, she has those stumbles to the side, and that will count as a fall, her hand going down. Her elbows are actually quite bent as she comes onto the table on this vault, and it's really hard to get a good block. And as a result, she doesn't have the height to get the twist around and falls.
Graduate of Performing Arts from the Lucia Marthas Institute in Amsterdam. Aitora Torsdottir. Meanwhile, Jessica Gadirova, 13.7. Almost the same as qualification. United States of America in second place after the first rotation. This is Sky Blakely on the uneven bars, 14.133 in qualification.
It's a very exciting routine. From the Stalder element into her pike Jaeger. And this Stalder Kachev in the pike position to Pak Salto. That element, of course, named for Rebecca Downey of Great Britain. And the dismount is fantastic, too. Should be a double front with a half twist.
Oh, that is just a wonderful piece of gymnastics, isn't it, to conclude the routine. She really tucks tightly as well, gets the knees up into the body.
It's just stunning work all the way through. Good height, but also control in this sequence.
11.8 for Takeda Chiaki on vault. Yurchenko 1.5, down by over 1.5 from qualification. Aitora Torsdottir, 13.3. And that's an improvement of 0.4 from qualification. A gymnast who had something of mixed economy in qualification, but a brilliant performer in finals, Alice D'Amato of Italy, 13.4 in the preliminary round. Alice D'Amato, the reigning Italian all-around champion, the 20-year-old from Genoa who competed at the Olympic Games in Tokyo. Sky Blakely, 14.166. United States of America in the lead at the moment. For Blakely, that was a fraction up from qualification. Alice Kinsella for Great Britain, 13.533 was her qualification score. She is the reigning British all-around champion.
And she's particularly smooth and fluid on this apparatus. She's also very good generally about hitting her handstands right at the 12 o'clock position. So Rechna to pack salto, another Kacha variation. Maloney to Ginger, and slight separation of her legs as she regrasps the bar.
Had a difficult moment going through into that dismount, but that's match management there from Alice Kinsella, who is so good at getting through a difficult moment. A lot of gymnasts would have been derailed by that, but she handled it very gently and carefully.
Her experience coming through, perhaps. Here's another look at the beginning of the routine. And that Jaeger.
Flavia Saraiva competing on beam for Brazil. Brazil in third place at the end of the last rotation. They've never won a medal in this event at the World Championships.
For many years now, she has been one of the best in the world on balance beam. She takes her time settling into this routine with some choreography. And this is her acrobatic sequence. Back handspring layout. She's playing it slightly safe. Often she does 2 layout step outs in a row. Really beautiful position on the switch ring leap. And the ring jump as well. The foot needs to be up above shoulder level, and the head needs to be back entirely.
Brazil's Flavia Saraiva, who won the bronze medal on beam at the World Cup in Paris last month, the traditional warm-up event for the World Championships. Alice D'Amato scores 13.3, 1/10 of penalty marks. Italy currently in 5th position. For Alice Kinsella, it's 13.533, and that's exactly what she scored in the qualification phase. Simone Biles of the United States of America returning to the World Championships. 14.4 was her score in qualification.
It's a confident start. High Kacha to immediate pack salto. Very nice so far. It's a long way for her to travel on the Van Leuven transition up to the high bar, but this has been great.
It really has been great. It is great to see her return to the city where she made her name at World Championship level. Simone Biles, the all-around champion at the Olympic Games in Rio.
In constructing this routine with her coaches, she doesn't try to do more than she's comfortable with. As one of her coaches put it, she does what she has to do and she gets off of the bars. Beautiful full twisting double tuck somersault well above the bar as she finishes the salto with a twist.
Flavia Saraiva scoring 14.066. And that is a huge improvement from qualification of about 3/4 of a mark. I tell you what, a lot of Brazilian fans right now are starting to get both incredibly excited and incredibly scared at the same time. Now to Zhang Qingying of the People's Republic of China. This was a very fine performance in qualifying, 14.1. She is the reigning Asian champion on beam.
You're absolutely right, Ollie. It was one of the revelations of qualification. And one of the reasons is that she has chosen some unique elements that we don't always see from the Chinese on balance beam. It's a routine that breaks the mold. It's a confident round-off layout to 2 feet. Switch ring in combination with a back handspring, straddle and wolf jumps. Switch side. And that was invented by Natalia Yurchenko, a world champion in the 1980s. She was quite well known for that. It's a skill that has really fallen out of fashion, but it might not be after this.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how much of our time we spend talking about Yurchenko's on vault, and then suddenly we see one on the balance beam for the first time in what feels like an age.
In terms of difficulty, she connected that with a switch side leap and a split jump. She might not get credit for the combination, but she will certainly get credit for the element. Double peg dismount.
Very useful member of the team, Zhang Xingying. She will also perform on vault. She wasn't used for the uneven bars rotation. Simone Biles, 14.466. That is up fractionally from qualification. The reigning two-time Commonwealth Games champion on the uneven bars. Great Britain's Georgia May Fenton, 22-year-old from Kent in the southeast of England.
She starts off with a Hindorf. She's caught it a little close, but competition management, it hasn't phased her whatsoever. But that was unexpected. What she wanted to do was a Maloney, a toe stalder, shoot over the low bar and grasp the high bar. But if you don't get your toes on the bar at the right time, it throws your timing off and you can go flying. She didn't have the position that she needed to swing around and really push through and catch the bar. Looked like she was attempting a Van Leuven and not a Maloney.
Great Britain's Georgia May Fenton, as the picture becomes very hard to read at the moment in this team final. It is extremely tight at the top of the table. Vaulting for France, Melanie de Jesus dos Santos.
We've seen some great double twisting Yurchenkos already tonight. She's got another one.
Oh, hasn't she just? My word! That was, even by her double twisting Yurchenko standards, a mighty effort. That was beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous and stuck to boot. And this is the first one that we have seen that has been stuck. A lot of people are talking about the confidence that seems to be infusing her gymnastics since she's gone to train in the United States. There's an example of it.
14.4 with a 9.4 execution score from Melanie de Jesus dos Santos. That's a little up from qualification. That was just sublime. It's a very dramatic team final from a leaderboard perspective. It's also an incredibly exciting one gymnastically. We are seeing some lovely work.
We really are on balance beam and on vault. So far, everyone seems right on.
Pensive looks on the face of the British team, as the Chinese team will be and receipt of a score of 13.266 for Zhang Qingying. 12.4 for Georgia May Fenton. She scored just above 14 in qualification. Now this is going to be very interesting and enjoyable to watch. Charlize Jones of the United States of America has some exceptionally high-scoring work on this apparatus. She was close to 15 in qualification.
It's all about Stalders and big release skills. Her amplitude is extraordinary. Gorgeous uprise Kachev. And a toe Stalder full to a downy, right to pack salto. Beautiful, wasn't it? And she does her dismount in combination from a front giant, double front.
Splendid from Charlize Jones of the United States of America. The attack in that routine. I mean, she goes for it, doesn't she?
She absolutely does. And her control here was spectacular.
Because sometimes when athletes really attack big skills like that, they lose the form, don't they?
Sometimes they can, but not tonight, not here.
To vault, and an exceptional performer on this apparatus, Colleen Duvillard, the bronze medalist on vault at the last World Championships and the European champion.
Handspring Rudy.
Very useful score for the French, and she knows it as well. That will be her sole contribution to the final, and a most valuable one. It will be close to what she scored in qualification, which was 14.4, maybe not quite as high.
She actually turned to a world champion sprinter to revamp her run up to the table. And it's made what was always a very good vault even better.
14.3, 1/10 down from the preliminary round.
Will now watch a video of that exercise.
Strong vaulting from the French.
The inquiry was will be accepted or not.
United States of America. 8 times champions of the world in this event, going for their 7th in a row. 14.633 from Charlize Jones. It's only 0.2 lower than the qualification round. It's going to make things very, very good for the United States of America at the top of the leaderboard. Now, Miyata Shoko, having, by the looks of things, recovered from that difficult landing she had on floor, will vault for Japan. It's a very important vault for Japan because it is a double twisting Yurchenko, and she can do it beautifully.
She floored everyone at the World Championships last year by how she was able to stick this vault. She doesn't do it tonight, but it's still very good.
And after what we saw in the previous rotation, that's highly impressive mentally and physically from her.
What a nice recovery. She bends her left leg slightly, and there's some crossing of her feet in the air, but those are nitpicky things.
People's Republic of China on balance beam with Zhou Jiaqin.
Once again, a very solid front handspring to front tuck combination.
She scored 14.5 in the preliminary round. She's been a national champion on beam and a national games balance beam champion.
She acquitted herself very well in the qualification, proving a really nice addition to the Chinese team. two. The tuck jump full to immediate jump full turn on balance beam. This is the kind of work that is very new for the Chinese on balance beam, and it's lovely to see. Wasn't that a beautiful combination?
This is her first ever overseas competition as a senior gymnast. What a great start from Georgia Chin.
And what a great triple twisting dismount too. So look at the beginning of the routine and how precise you have to be on elements with flight in order to land on the beam. No problem for her though.
Arianna Belladelli of Italy takes to the floor. She scored 13.266 in qualification. She made her full senior international debut at the Baku World Cup early this year and took a silver medal on this apparatus. So it'll be really enjoyable to see her translate this to a World Championship stage. Arianna Belladelli from Rome, the 16-year-old World Championship debutant and World Cup medalist on floor. Her score 13.133, just over 1/10 down from qualification. Very credible display that for a first ever World Championship final. Really well done. 14.533 for Georgia Chin. Now we look at Rebeca Andrade of Brazil on beam. A gymnast who scored 13.8 in qualification.
She was just a bit tentative on her opening leap combination. Normally she connects the switch leap to the switch half. There are small wobbles here and there in this exercise. But that was a very nice combination. Side aerial, split jump, back handspring. likely to be a double pike.
Not quite as authoritative as her performance in qualification, but still useful for the Brazilian team. 13.1 the podium. France, Great Britain, Italy, Brazil, all really tightly packed. Netherlands and Japan have fallen away a little towards the bottom of the standings, and the United States of America are starting to pull up now, away as expected from the rest of the contenders. Brazil will go to floor with the People's Republic of China. It's fascinating to see them as the third and fourth best in qualification, dueling now on floor. For the Italians, they will go to vault. That could be of great use to them. The French on the uneven bars, along with Japan. Uneven bars was where things became so problematic, unfortunately, for Japan in the team competition last year, and they did struggle in the qualification phase as well.
France, however, is very good on bars. They'll have the services of Laurette Charpy as well as Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, two potentially very big routines.
Lian Wong from the United States of America. This scored 13.366 in qualification.
She's a very elegant performer on balance beam.
And she has fought with everything that she has to try and stay on the apparatus. Now, the United States of America has got some breathing space at the top of the leaderboard. It's important to state that, 1.467 ahead of China going to beam. And the important thing now for Lian Wong is to recover from it, and as she's done there, not concede too many more.
And certainly she's trained for a scenario like this. Every now and again in training, one tends to take a spill like that. But as you said, Ollie, she's recovered very nicely.
Yes, to normal, unathletic human beings like me, when we see a gymnast who has that kind of a struggle on the apparatus, then we recoil in horror. But as you say, it's a routine thing for them, isn't it?
It
in
is.
Training. And she's recovered extremely well, really well. And I'm going to bring out one of my great cliches, which is often about what you save, not simply about what you lose in a team competition. She recovered extremely impressively. That was very difficult.
A foot can so easily slip off the side of the beam when one is training a side aerial.
On the uneven bars, Marine Boyer of France.
She does have some small form errors, some flexed feet, the legs coming apart on the packed salto element, transition from high to low. That said, she's getting through without a major mistake.
The French in third place at the halfway mark of the competition. The only time they ever won a medal was in Basel in Switzerland in 1950. They came second. There were a fair few gymnastics fans out there that had France as a real dark horse pick to actually get onto the podium. Manila Esposito from Italy, the Italians in 5th position at the halfway stage of the competition. Yurchenko 1.5, the indicated vault.
Just like in qualification, that was very secure.
Qualification score was 13.766. Won the World Cup gold medal in Cottbus right at the start of the year on vault.
And one of the reasons she did that is because this is such a strong vault for her. Good height in the air, good block off the table, plenty of time to get the twist around.
13.7, it is virtually the same as the preliminary round for Manila Esposito. Italy in second place at the moment, but a long way to go in this third rotation. You're watching the women's team final at the Artistic Gymnastics World Championships.
From a difficulty standpoint, we might see her score drop a bit there too. Obviously there was the fall, but she opted only to do a double twisting dismount, whereas normally she does a 2.5.
Watching on all of the reserve gymnasts who have been an important part of this competition, a special occasion for them, even though they're not able to step onto the competition floor. And we just raise a glass to Kayla Dicello, Poppy Grace Stickler, to Wu Ran, Carolini Pedro, to Genelauri Sakaguchi Ayaka, Veronica Mandriotta and Tisha Volleman. Not easy to be a reserve gymnast in this sort of situation. You have to stand around and experience it all as a spectator. 11.7 for Lian Wong. And that is a drop of about a mark and a half from qualifying. Georgia May Fenton, after a tough rotation on the uneven bars, heads to the beam for Great Britain. Great Britain in fourth place at this stage.
She's right on her double turn. She makes it look easy, but it is not. On that series, however, the side aerial to lay out, step out, the important thing is to keep your body, particularly your shoulders, completely square with the beam. And if it isn't, you very quickly begin having problems.
And we just remind ourselves at this stage that a key difference from qualification is that every single score is a contributing score. What steadiness there in the wolf turns after what she just had to divorce herself from mentally earlier in the routine.
And it's the point that you make so often, Ollie. It is not about what you miss. It is always about what you salvage, what you save, what you do. And we've seen some misses tonight, but we've also seen some really great performances as gymnasts have moved on from that.
And no team final ever comes down to one single moment. It is always an intricate picture of lots of different routines. Gymnasts succeed as a team. They also don't succeed as a team. They all take responsibility and accountability for successes and those moments that are not so good.
Her shoulders start drifting to the right as she comes out of the side aerial, and so it would have been very difficult with the layout.
12.866 for Marine Boyer. Zhou Yaqin taking to the floor for the People's Republic of China. Her scoring qualification 13.766. wasn't that enjoyable to watch. Zhou Yaqin, the national champion. The Chinese have said, haven't they, Blythe, that they are looking to make their floor routines more Chinese in terms of their musical choice and their choreography.
They have said that, and this routine is exceptional for several reasons. One thing that she does very well is she sticks her tumbling passes, but the turns were magnificent, and there's a real daintiness to her choreography.
12.2, Georgia May Fenton's score on beam. Charlize Jones on beam. 14.033 in qualification. The United States of America, the leaders at the halfway mark.
An ambitious mount sequence, switch to switch half, that she handles very well. This is ambitious as well. Beautiful standing Arabian. That is one of the most difficult things that a person can do on the balance beam. Here's her acro series. Should be 3 elements, back handspring to 2 feet, and a layout landed with 2 feet.
And what a hold as well. What a save.
Her middle splits, not particularly difficult for her, but it gets its own round of applause. And there's difficulty from start to finish woven into this routine. Her dismount, back handspring, double pike.
There's no doubt about it. The United States of America are marching towards another gold medal. These are stellar performances, and at the heart of it is Charlize Jones, the 21-year-old.
What flight she shows in the layout to 2 feet.
Zhou Yaqin's score is 13.833. The People's Republic of China making a very good case for getting back onto the podium after that run of competitions ended in 2019. Rebecca Andrade now on floor for a Brazilian team dreaming of making history for South America. This is a fabulous routine, by the way. History could be about to be made in Antwerp. And a leader figure like Rebecca Andrade, who has endured so much injury disappointment in her career, is performing so very well for the nation but she is so overjoyed to represent. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos of France now goes to the uneven bars, with the French also on the quest to get a medal.
She was the champion on uneven bars at the World Challenge Cup in Paris just a couple weeks ago. Here comes Nabieva. Right to pack salto. Maloney uprise, stalled her blind to immediate Ejeva. She is on course for another wonderful routine.
The French also ahead of the Olympic Games in Paris are making a very bold and impressive stride towards a place on the podium. Nothing is certain yet. This is an extraordinary final.
And this was an extraordinary exercise delivered under pressure.
Shilese Jones scores 13.6. It is down by about half a mark from qualification.
Come on, keep going on. Trust it, you can do this, come on.
Now Alice D'Amato of Italy on vault. 14 was her score in the preliminary round.
She has a very efficient double twisting Yurchenko normally. Well done.
Just for a moment, we had a look out over the Antwerp Sport Palace. We're in rotation number 3 in this women's team final. It's virtually full in the building. 14.166 for Alice D'Amato. The Italians in 5th place, but going to the vaulting table. Chance to move up. 14.666 for Andrade. Very strong score. She's up by over half a mark from qualification. That could be enormous for Brazil's challenge for a medal. Oyu Shen now goes to floor. The gymnast who won the gold medal at her home World University Games in the summer. Oyu Shen, the undergraduate at Beijing Sports University, one of the most prestigious in the country. She had a difficult time of things there.
The beginning and the end were very nice. It was the second tumbling pass, a 2.5 twist through to a front pike somersault. And her shoulders are very far back as she rebounds out of the 2.5, and as a result, she can't get the rotation on the front pike.
It's been a thoroughly compelling return to a World Championship final for Simone Biles. A small breath as she now embarks upon this, the third performance. On beam, she scored 14.566 in qualifying.
She is slightly off on her mount sequence, and she doesn't do the third element that she normally does, the standing back pike somersault. So that could impact her difficulty slightly. The Mitchell turn, though, the triple in the Cossack sit position. Very, very steady, however. And that's just classic Simone Biles on balance beam. Back handspring followed by 2 layout step outs. She's gearing up for her dismount. Should be 2 back handsprings followed by a full twisting double tuck.
Absolutely magnificent. Oh, what a reaction, what a performance. What a gymnast. What a, and this is a word that we overuse in sport, but it's well placed here. What a legend.
Legendary. Absolutely. And in this routine, she dealt very well with the small problem at the beginning. She showed real tenacity in just hitting the rest of it beautifully. And there's her reaction. She is a perfectionist after all.
Oyu Shen scoring 12.066. Just to remind you, the People's Republic of China in second place at the end of the last rotation. We're giving you great entertainment on floor today. And next we have Flavia Saraiva. After a prolonged spell of injury and surgery at the end of last year, Flavia Saraiva came back with such fierce determination. She said that she had sangue nos olhos, blood in the eye. It's a Brazilian colloquialism meaning I want this more than ever before. And goodness, she's proven it. 14.4 for Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, 14.3 for Simone Biles. We're seeing some very compelling scores. Jessica Gadirova of Great Britain to the balance beam, where Great Britain needs to push up towards the podium. They were 4th at the end of the last rotation.
She's generally quite aggressive on balance beam. There's a small wobble after her switch half, but she doesn't let it become a big problem. That is a Humphrey turn, 2.5 in the Cossack position. Once again, she's slightly off on her backhand spring layout, but she does a good job of putting her feet down and just letting gravity work for her. Same thing on the side aerial.
Jessica Gadirova of Great Britain had a fantastic qualification campaign. She is going to contest the all-around final in a couple of days' time. And she'll also be a threat in the apparatus weekend.
It was a good fight on the switch side. Her hips weren't quite completely rotated as her feet came down.
The Netherlands in 7th place. At the end of the last rotation, I thought Thorsdottir is now on vault.
She too has a double twisting Yurchenko.
Somewhat low in the landing, a little bent over, but it was well performed. One of the more complex vaults in the Dutch team.
We'll get to take another look at it from a different angle. Good entry. She's turning a little bit as her arms hit the table. That will be a slight deduction for the repulsion phase.
13.7 is the score for Thorsdottir. This was a very important performance for the French in qualification. Laurette Charpy on the uneven bars as France goes in pursuit of a medal. She scored 14.133, this resilient gymnast who's returned from rotten injury troubles.
She had 2 quite significant knee injuries in the last couple of years and has done brilliantly to come back. This is her specialty.
Well, apologies for the loss of that performance. Gives us a chance to look out over the arena in Antwerp, the Sport Palace, as we're about to go round for the very last time. And I can tell you that it is really not very easy to anticipate who's going to get onto that podium and who will miss out. 13.533 for Jessica Gadirova in the meantime.
Get moved by motion.
We have the score on B for Jessica Gadirova, 13.533. Quick look at
I can tell you as well, just from the British team's perspective, that Ondine Champong was the top scorer on beam for them with 13.933. And that routine from Laurette Charpy was the same as in qualification, 14.133. So don't worry about the fact you missed it there, because by the sound of things, it was identical to the qualification campaign. So feel free just to look up the video on social media of her performing that. Shame not to see it, because it just is lovely to see Laurette Charpy back in international competition. She's had some dreadful knee injuries. 13.9, Flavia Saraiva. The Brazilian team is right there on the cusp of the podium, and they are going to vault next. Vault is where we're going now to look at Vera van Pol. She performs the 1.5 twisting Yurchenko vault, 4.6 difficulty. She scored 13.6 in the qualification phase. A gymnast who has 3 times been the all-around national champion. She's 29, hugely experienced member of the team.
Gymnasts of the second group, your warm-up time starts now.
And her score 13.4, just a small drop of 0.2 from qualification. The Dutch still in 7th position. But we genuinely have a 4-team race to get 2 places on the podium, along with the United States of America.
Well, France on balance beam versus Brazil on vault. Oh, that's very difficult.
Well, well, well. Welcome to the final rotation. I'm sure you're watching this at home perfectly calm. No nation from South America has ever won a men's or women's team medal at the World Championships in artistic gymnastics. This could be a milestone moment, but the French are in the driving seat. Nonetheless, the Brazilians are on vault. And they have got some big scores they can count upon from Rebecca Andrade there.
She does one of the very best Cheng vaults ever to have been done.
And that a vault with a 5.6 degree of difficulty. The People's Republic of China will not be posting anything like that degree of difficulty with their vaulting. For them, it is really about absolute solidity of execution. On balance beam, we have the French team. They've got some great performers on that apparatus, like Marine Boyer to call upon.
And a European champion in Melanie de Jesus dos Santos.
Ruby Evans of Great Britain. She begins their final rotation on floor. In this milestone moment for Welsh gymnastics, how nice that we get to see the Welsh champion on floor, Ruby Evans, representing the British team.
And what great potential she has.
And how wonderful it is to see somebody at a very different stage of her career from Ruby Evans, back competing at the top level in the World Championship team. Once again, only her 4th time here. So many injuries, but she competed back in 2007 for the first time at this event, and she was the all-around bronze medalist there. Jade Barbosa of Brazil.
And through all the years, she has performed this reliably and beautifully.
Her one contribution to this team final, and it could be a massive one to get Brazil onto the podium. Execution-wise, there are some issues, but it is landed.
Yes, and that is the important thing. You're absolutely right. She twists a little bit off of the table, and there's some form in the air, but hey, that is a hit for Brazil.
Challengers everywhere you look. Italy in 5th place at the end of the last rotation. Manila Esposito now performs for them on the uneven bars.
Excellent Nabieva to immediate pack salto. And a Bahardwaj, the full twisting pack salto. This has been very strong for Italy so far. Front Giants into a double front, deep squat on landing.
Who's it going to be? Who is it going to be? It's such a fascinating conclusion to this final.
She did clip her foot on the low bar as she swung into the dismount, it looks like. And when you hit the apparatus with your feet, you lose half a point, even if it doesn't break your rhythm much. So it will be interesting to see the score.
13.933 is an improvement of 1/10 for Judge Barbosa from qualification. Ruby Evans, 13.233, up from qualification.
So I just put it down, so I didn't want to...
You did the right thing, and you look like you loved it. Really.
Now the leading nation going into the final rotation. It's Lian Wong for the USA. Scored 13.2 in qualifying. Lian Wong from the United States of America. Just a brief word on their team. You may have noticed they've had one fewer member competing than other teams, as this score of 13.4 comes in from Manila Esposito. The United States Gymnastics Association confirmed an injury to Jocelyn Roberson on vault when she was warming up, and as a result she has not been able to participate in the competition. Jocelyn Roberson of the USA is here. She is, or has been watching the competition for part of it, but she's also receiving medical treatment. It's really unfortunate, and we do wish her nothing but the best. This is Flavia Saraiva for Brazil.
Oh, such good pop off the table on the double twisting Yurchenko.
They're delivering They are absolutely delivering. These experienced gymnasts who've dominated at Pan American Championship level year upon year. They've got a world medal in their sights. Look at the atmosphere in the Brazilian camp. And really well done to her, because she was not expecting to vault in this final. She was not expecting to compete on floor. She has proven herself, Leanne Wong, to be such a valuable member of the team. And once again, we offer nothing but our best wishes to Jocelyn Robertson of the United States of America. Morgane Ossisek on beam, first chance to see her in action in this final.
Aboarding the balance beam in a team final like this, with a medal on the line. She's just exuding confidence so far, but the routine is far from over. She's highly experienced and has been a valuable member of the French team for the past few years. There's no shortage of difficulty in this exercise. So far, it's been very good indeed. What will the dismount bring? Double pike.
The French in third place, coming into the final rotation with contenders all around them, but they too are challengers for a medal. The last time was 1950, the only time that they've been on the podium in this event.
And what a way to face the pressure for Morgane Ossisek-Reimer. Beautiful round-off layout to 2 feet. Beautiful routine.
13.333. It's up by 3/10 from qualification. 13.833 for Flavia Saraiva. Brazil is in the lead at the moment. The People's Republic of China in second place, coming to vault. Chu Yuen, a 16-year-old from Fujian province.
This is Sukahara full. It is not comparatively difficult when you look at it against some of the vaults that we've seen tonight. Well performed, but the difficulty score, 4.4.
13.1 as a result. The People's Republic of China are now behind Brazil. And that is very interesting, because we were talking about Brazil as challenging for a place on the podium. They are now primed for a silver medal if things continue in this fashion. And we don't want to count chickens before they've hatched in a final like this. 13.166 for Leanne Wong. Marine Boyer of France, gymnast who has made a balance beam final at the Olympic Games. And she won her second consecutive Paris World Cup beam title in the warm-up to this event.
She is their specialist, but in the qualification, it did not go as well as it could have. This is perhaps seen as a second chance. Excellent round-off layout to 2 feet. Steady side aerial. and a good side somi. So far, it is much better than she did it in qualifying.
An important performance for the French. It comes from Marine Boyer. And the French may well be about to appear on a World Championship podium. It falls to Rebeca Andrade of Brazil. It's a huge difficulty vault. She tends to perform it fabulously in the city of diamonds. A nation with a diamond on its flag. A nation rich in mineral resources says we've come here to bring our diamonds to you, to sparkle and to shine. The South American stars have just gone global. Meanwhile, the United States of America is in pursuit of a 7th consecutive women's team title. Shilese Jones takes to the floor. She scored 13.8 in qualification. With all of the drama that has been going on in the race for other medals, the United States of America has just calmly gone about asserting itself as yet again the dominant team in women's artistic gymnastics.
What a soft, elegant routine this was. This is new for Shilese this year. And the tumbling is phenomenal, but so is the expression and the art that she brings to this exercise. There was a small problem landing her double back second pass. She does step out of bounds. That will only cost a 1/10 of a point and a little bit of execution because her leg come up.
14.9. Rebeca Andrade sends the Brazilian team into the gold medal position, and now their work is done. They just have to simply wait and see where they end up. They will be ahead of the People's Republic of China, that is clear. The French, with 13.733 for Marine Boyer, go into 4th position. Zhang Qingying of the People's Republic of China now vaulting.
Once again, a very clean Sukahara with a full twist, but in terms of difficulty, it is not competitive in this final for China.
They're in 2nd place with this, 13.166. That means they are behind the Brazilians. So there's been a turnaround. Brazil were 4th coming into the final rotation. Now We wait for this score for Shilese Jones. They've won a medal, the USA, at every edition of the World Championships where there's been a team competition since 2001. 11 consecutive appearances on the podium. This, if they win it tonight, will be their 7th consecutive gold medal. An absolutely incredible accomplishment. An extraordinary era of domination. And it is an era.
And we really can't say enough about what Shilese Jones brings to this team.
And she's had an extremely bad spell of injury as well lately, about 10 months out of competition.
Yes.
She said at the national championships, which were very recently in the USA, she was only about 75–80%. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, pretty useful to call upon her on beam when she has won the European title on this apparatus. 12.733 in qualification. Can she improve? Oh, what a start, what authority.
Lovely front pike mount. Very nice switch-to-switch side combination after her back handspring layout flight series. She has spoken about the maturity and calm she feels that she's gained over the past couple of years. And so far in this routine, it's showing through.
Marvellous display ahead of the Olympic Games. The French are in dreamland. (1950), the one time that they made it onto the podium. Shilese Jones with a score of 13.566. Don't pay too much attention to the 6th place for the United States of America because they still have one more performance to come. Someone who's quite good, by the way. Jessica Gadirova. Great opportunity now to see a gymnast who won the World Championship title on floor in her home country last year. And it is such an artistic and exciting routine. What a conclusion to Great Britain's day that is from Jessica Gadirova. It's not been the easiest of days for the British team, but you know what? They have had so much success lately that now it is routine to expect Great Britain to be challenging for any and every medal at a World Championships, and it did not used to be like that.
They have come so far, and in this routine, she has kept innovating. Her first tumbling pass, a double twisting, double layout, that is new for her this season, and she does it wonderfully. And how about a stuck tumbling pass to end things off?
Will go to their home Olympic Games as one of the 3 finest teams in the world. They are guaranteed a medal. And the Brazilians will win at least silver, the first ever South American nation to win a team medal in women's or men's competition at the Artistic Gymnastics World Championships. And that is anything but overnight success. Look at them. Jade Barbosa, injury upon injury. Rebecca Andrade, injury upon injury. Flavia Saraiva, Lohane Oliveira, Julia Suarez, Caroline Pedro, continental history makers. As we look at the French as well, who for the second time in their entire history have won a medal in this event at the World Championships.
100%.
For Brazil, this is a medal at least 20 years in the making.
14.533 for Jessica Gadirova, Great Britain in 5th place. You're absolutely right. 20 years in the making. How about 10 years in the making? From Antwerp to Antwerp. Well, gymnastics is a funny old thing. It goes in all sorts of directions, and yet at the end of it, it always seems to be Simone Biles. She's back, and she has a chance to secure the United States of America's 7th consecutive World Team title. Not create false intrigue and false drama. Let us not disrespect Simone Biles by pretending that there's any doubt as to whether that's good enough for the United States of America to win gold. Let us simply sit back, enjoy it again, and know that the United States of America have won 7 in a row, and be thrilled that she is yet again part of it.
What a wonderful routine. capped by this new tumbling pass for her. And then this is what she brought when she came here 10 years ago. It was named for her here. How appropriate that she sticks it tonight. She came here an unknown a decade ago. She has returned a champion, and in so many ways.
And we see her teammate there that we didn't get the opportunity to look at in the final, Jocelyn Robertson. But this Brazilian team, it's a milestone moment in the sport of artistic gymnastics. It is huge. And the French as well. They can barely believe it. World Championship team medalists. But another gold medal is incoming for the United States of America. The number, by the way, needs to be just around the 13 mark. Just to correctly follow protocol, though it seems hardly necessary here. Seven in a row. It's an enormous number, and so is that score on floor. 15.166 for Simone Biles, and the United States of America is back at the top, back where they belong in the sport of artistic gymnastics. 7 in a row. A magnificent 7. A name that means a lot in the United States of America. 7, who in 1996 became the first ever Olympic champions for the USA in the women's event, and the legacy that they've created. It's right to honour a magnificent 7 with a magnificent 7. The French, Allez les Bleus, have made it onto the podium, and we honour Ginette Durand, Colette Houet, Madeleine Jouffroy, Alexandre Lemoine, Liliane Montagne, Christine Palot, Irene Pitelion, and Jeanette Vogelbacher. Sorry, I've got a lump in my throat, this is very emotional. The Brazilians have won a silver medal in a moment that makes history for South American artistic gymnastics. Live, I don't know where to begin. Shall we start with Simone Biles and the USA? They've won it again.
They are calling over Melanie De Jesus dos Santos, who trains with them in Texas.
Coached by the Landys, as many of you will know. Oh, that's glorious.
There is Cécile Landy, an Olympian herself for France.
There were times when we didn't think we would ever see Jade Barbosa again. There were times when we didn't think we would see Colleen de Villars again. This sport has changed. The longevity that now exists in gymnastics, the example set by these athletes.
For Laurette Charpie as well, dealing with those very significant knee injuries. There must have been times when she questioned as well. And there were questions about whether we would ever see Simone Biles back in competition. Everywhere you look, there is history.
And if there is one story that links all of these medal-winning teams, it is the story of comebacks. But it is never over until it is over.
Please prepare for the march
Bronze
out.
to France, silver to Brazil, gold to the United States of America. The women's team final.